Live. Oh, I'm live. Happy Friday, June 14th, 2024, the 6th month of the year. Yeah, just been resting up, harvesting, and getting ready for the next plant. Be planting garlic. End of July, a month and a half. It's garlic plant time. But I've been harvesting spinach, like third crop of spinach, beets, bunches of potatoes, like little places I thinned out. Strawberries are in full swing now, so it was interesting. I weeded out around around the around the strawberries, and what I weeded out was just the new fingerling potatoes because I plant them everywhere, and yeah, very interesting. Yeah, almost 4 a.m. in the morning. Yep. Oops. Well, someone showed up and left. Hopefully, someone shows up for a planting and harvesting conversation. If not, well, I'll give it a little bit and I'm going harvesting. I planted another row of peas yesterday. Good morning, Blistering. How you doing, Jamie? Hope you're doing well. Yeah. I watch a lot of your shorts on coins and all kinds of things. Yeah, they're fun. Must be 1 o'clock where you are, maybe. Yeah. Going to a rock and gem show today. Mrs. V is coming by and we're going to go. I've been to it before. It's at the Leonardo da Vinci Center. I'm doing all right. Still struggling along a little bit with some health issues, but hey. Well, yeah. But I'm going to a gem and rock show. I'll be taking a couple of videos and putting up, not too much. I put up a bunch of shorts on harvesting and stuff like that and planting, and I'm kind of done with that now. So I'm just going to make a couple of videos on things that I do every day, like going to the Rock and Gem show. And I'm supposed to go check out this charter thing. I'll go look at it. But other than that, Jamie, that's it. Oh, we have someone new here. Hard, something light. I don't have my glasses on. Hard light. Welcome. Hard light. Can barely see it. There we go. You're lurking. Oh no. Lurkers aren't allowed. Listeners are, but no lurkers. And if you're at work, hope you get off soon. It's Friday. Definitely make some videos of Gem Show. Yeah, last time I went there, I bought like a nugget of gold, like about that big or something. That was like a couple 3 years ago, and I gave it to my one of my family members. they liked gold and stuff like that. So there's a little something to your collection. She's like, wow, it's gold. And like, yeah. I showed it to this one guy. I bought it from one guy and I showed it to another guy at the gem show a few years ago, a couple, 3 years ago. And he's like, where did you get this? And I'm like, I don't know. I found it. He goes, where did you find it? And I'm like, well, I don't remember. I was just playing him. He was very, I said, can my gold nugget back, please? He's like, yeah. Where did you get it? And I said, I bought him off that table over there. He wasn't impressed. I have found gold before in a couple of places, actually 3 or 4 places, but just little tiny amounts, nothing significant. Apparently, there's a lot of gold in Virginia. Who would have thought? And California and Alaska, that's the places you got to go. That guy that goes on the Fraser River here, and I don't know, I forget his name, but he goes out there. It's not exactly like he's saying. It's, you have to have timing for that river. And I mean, if you're not timing it right, a river can be pretty nasty. Lots of people have died on that river, for even people I've known for a long time. Well, mostly on the upper Fraser and the North Thompson and stuff. But you just don't go up panning gold, man. Doesn't work that way. Unless you've got something, knowledge of something that no one else has, like where gold will settle, or where it'll lay down on a bend, or in the crevices or something like that, and bring your shopping back to crevices and shit like that. But it would be tough to find a main pocket of gold. Australia apparently has some. It's all formed from when the sun exploded. Supernova. Boom. Yeah. But planting like I harvested garlic this week. I don't know, a few hundred heads of garlic bulbs. So I've got them right here. I did that. That was really a lot of fun. And I only harvested like the hard neck ones because the soft necks are a little bit later. But I did take a lot of soft neck ones too, but they're pretty fat. They're well defined. I got probably, I don't know, 20 pounds of these, 25 pounds harvested. Yeah. There we go. That's a little better. Right? Howie's garlic. It's very well defined, and that's what you want. You want this ribage, like when you harvest your garlic. This one's pretty fat. I mean, it's pretty fat. I've got probably about half of them are like this big. So yeah. So oops, there we go. So yeah, I don't know how many pounds I have really. It's a giant basket like that because I just cut them off and put them in the basket. I don't go through all the, hey, Vampire Dave. I mean, no, that would be not vampire. You would be a Dragula or something. or I don't know. But yeah, for sure. They're nice plump ones. They're nice and yeah, that's what you want. This is what it looked like. This is what it looks like when you clean it up. But it's $30 a pound here for garlic. And strawberries aren't much off, man. They wanted it, I think it was $17 for a little tiny box of them, not the small box with the next one up. I was just like, really? Woohoo! I'm rich. All my strawberries are ripening in the yard. I should go live this weekend and show what we're harvesting here. Lots of everything now. It's just crazy. And my cucumbers and squash and everything is all doing really good. But I do like it. But that's when you do harvest it. This is a soft neck, by the way. So it's a pretty big soft neck. I don't know if you could see that. There you go. Kind of looks pumpkinish. There's some real purpley ones right there. But they're defined, you see? You want that right there. Oop, right there. You see that? See it more right here. You see that? That's what you want. You want that rib there, like that clove, before you go and harvest it. But I did pretty good. I got a nice bunch. Not all of them are real big, but you know what? I find that people go, oh, plant all the big ones. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. You get all big ones. But sometimes the smaller garlic tastes delicious and are way more pungent and flavorful, especially those wild ones. I was like, but not everything was just tasted the same in the same spot. So, yeah, yesterday I went on the major strawberry binge. I gave some away and picked a bunch, but by Saturday they'll all be back again because there was tons of green ones. So I'm thinking on going live on Saturday. I've been just laying low and letting others do my work for me. But one of the gardens, the person's not home. So I'm like, I was there yesterday and planted peas and they're not home. And then I seen some people coming and going from there, people from the neighborhood that look after the place. And I just went, I don't even like them people. So, so yeah, I might have to go over there and water it. I'm allowed to come and go from there and do weedings and stuff like that anyway. But yeah, 2 weeks I will be harvesting my garlic. Yeah. I harvested some of my garlic early. I just take them out and eat the whole green thing and everything. I just chop it up. Yesterday I had raw albacore tuna. That was pretty delicious. And I made a little tiny soup, but I put the albacore tuna in on the very end on top of seaweed. And it was pretty delicious. I had a friend over, and my friend is like, wow, this is just the best I've ever had. And he's like, he's had some pretty fine foods, and he knows fine food. He's a nutritionist. So he's like, this is just fabulous. I'm like, yeah, I learned it from my dad. And then the other part I learned from a Japanese friend, to when to put the seaweed and soya sauce and the raw tuna in on top. So it just sits there. I just buy garlic. How do you grow it? Do you just plant a clove? Well, sure, you can buy it. There's two types. There's hard neck and soft neck. And, generally, it depends. I've seen people harvest it all over the world, but it needs a nice winter. It likes growing in the winter. Like here, I don't know like about other places, Jamie, but you planted around August here, so I imagine it'd be the same where you are. And then it just pops out, and by next August, and bing bada boomba, you're eating garlic. And it's not like the garlic. You see, garlic to be preserved in other countries. I'm not going to mention them, but you can figure it out. They actually put formaldehyde on the garlic. That's why you see that nice, beautiful white garlic. Sorry, but where are you, deep purple one? I had a real deep purple one. It doesn't matter. Any of them will do. Garlic's not white. Garlic, this is not white either. If you can see the lines on it. But when you see it and it's all white and you peel it off and the skin on the clove is white, that's not natural. There are a couple of, there's a lot of types of garlic. There is a couple of types of garlic that are white, but that it's not the ones you're buying at the store. Here it's $30 a pound for fresh garlic harvest that just was dried a little bit on the stalk because people like that. It gives it a little more flavor. $30 a pound right now. I probably have 20 pounds there, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. So that'd be $600 in garlic that I have right now harvested. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as my whole year's garlic, and I might give away a clove or a garlic bulb here and there, But it's a nice gift. You give a few potatoes, give a couple beets. Dave Knight. Oh, I was going to ask you, Dave, how's the squash going? Sorry, this will keep vampires away at 2 weeks. So yeah, that's nice garlic to harvest. How's the squash going? I have to go and water my one of my gardens that I participate in. Well, mostly I'm there to do everything anyway, but now the people that own the land, they're gone. So I'm going to travel there today, and I seen some people. Well, not really travel; it's just down the way a bit. But I'm going to go find out what's going on. Hello, hey Sammy Joe, welcome. Hello, first time here. I'm from Canada. That's a beautiful garlic. You're from Canada? Well, that's a nice place. I'm from Vancouver Island. Yeah, I guess that's in Canada. We're on an island in the North Pacific. So, yeah, good to see you. You're a rich man, Howie. The squash is growing like crazy. Wow. Hey, Odom. Welcome. Yeah, well, the squash grow well here. I'm going to plant more this year because it's when I harvest my squash, and then shortly after that, I harvest my potatoes. And that's how it works. And in between there, when I'm harvesting potatoes, I'm harvesting the strawberries, and I pull out the potato plant altogether. It's really neat here at being in a marine temperate climate. A bird just came in and took off, took something from the floor there. They'll come in the house and fly around once in a while. I don't mind them. I just leave the windows and door open. Good morning, Odom. People are saying hello. Yeah, so I harvested this here garlic. You can see when it's defined with those ribs there, that's when you can pretty much, you can wait a few more days if you want, or if you got a lot of work to do and there's some spare time, then, but garlic here is $30 a pound. Sammy Joe is saying hello to Dave Knight. I was born in 1982, Sammy. Oh, you're just a young feller. I was born in the 60s, so We're 20 years apart. Yeah. But your squash, they're doing good. Hey, Dave, they're doing good. I don't know if you mentioned, I asked you it, but I don't know if you. The squash is growing like crazy. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's good. That's excellent. And you're gonna love eating them fresh off the vines. The only squash that tastes kind of ice creamy like when you eat it. It's like, oh, it's not like a melon. It's not like a squash or a pumpkin. It has its own texture. And if you eat some that are just shiny, this like the smaller ones, like weigh 1 or 2 pounds or 3 pounds, that's just like ice cream. But even the one I kept for almost a year, like 11 months, I brought it to my friend and I cut it up there. And he's like, yeah, it does taste like ice cream. And I'm like, yeah. He's just like, ice cream like my mom used to make. So pretty funny. Born in 75. What was I doing in 75? I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I think I'm as old as dirt. Well, there's dirt as old as you. Yeah, a friend of mine says that too. Yeah, you do feel old at times, especially when you have to do a bit, a bit of work. You really feel your age. Like I've been feeling it. Holy schmolians. Harvesting the garlic, I took like 3 days to harvest like 20 pounds of garlic. I just do a little bit, put it away, do a little bit, put it away. And then when I ended up with them all on the table, I should have taken a video. I guess I didn't bother. I think I might have one, but it didn't upload. Something's wrong with the phone. I haven't found a squash. Huh. You're missing the like part, I think. Yeah, I'm not a super big fan of squash unless I know how to cook it, because I know cooking it, like, yes, getting harder and harder to get up at 3. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Squash. There's so many different kinds, and most people think of winter squash like a pumpkin, but squash cover a huge field. Like it's a very broad field of types of squash, and there's a lot of them, and that none of them taste the same, and some taste different grown on other piece of land than where you ate it from. So it's very strange, but I will eat all squash. Yeah, yeah, I'll eat all squash. I'm a squash fan because it stores so well. Storing squash dull, not shiny, is the key, and not injured. Gently, cured on the counter, like about 4 foot up, and where airflow goes and no sunlight. It just sits there. You can put a little piece of cardboard underneath so it's all the weight's not sitting on something hard. There's a little bit of a cushion. And I harden off my squash every year. You'll see it in my videos. Never tried butternut squash. Oh, it's really nice. It's really nice. Yeah. That's one you can chop up into cubes. It has very little water. So you can chop it up into cubes and drop it on some hot oil on a pan, and it's pretty nice. Squash cooks very rapidly, eh? Like because of the moisture content. It yeah, it'll crisp up right away. But I just had some fresh zucchinis given to me, so I've been chewing on them, and I put some really tiny cucumber or zucchini slices into my miso soup that I make. I had to find a new organic source of miso. It's very difficult to get that. Butternut squash, yeah. Yeah, the ones I sent Dave Knight, he I have lots of different squash this year. I bet you do. We'll see who does the best. I mean, on your squash end, not whether me or you have the best squash, but I mean, what squash is good? There'll be different ones for your area that'll do better than others. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I only have probably 12 squash plants. I mean, I have like way more squash plants, but I'm not looking after them. They look after themselves. There's only like about 12 or 13 that I look after where I'll give compost tea to and stuff like that. The rest just grow wild throughout the food forest. And that was interesting this year that some grew up here and there from seed. I don't know what they are. They could be gourds or whatever. I don't interrupt their growing. I just let them grow. They grow up through the hemp. They'll hang there and pull the hemp down. I'm like, oh, okay. But it makes really nice soil, hey? Yellow squash gives me nightmares from childhood. Huh? Yeah. My blood pressure, if it's up, I'll have a nightmare. Or if I'm having a nightmare, my blood pressure's up. It's not good. No. But now that I've freed up half of the forest floor of garlic, the other half is elephant garlic and those giant red Russian ones. I mean, they're monsters. But I did plant some elephant garlic. But a friend of mine came over and mistaken my elephant garlic stash for cooking, and my friend was making food. And I come out my garlic stash for replanting. I'm like, where's my garlic? And my friend's like, well, it's in the chowder. And I'm like, the whole bulb? Where are the other bulbs? My friend goes, yeah, they're in there too. It's like, oh, I didn't even feel like eating that chowder, and it was really good chowder. I didn't care to eat it. I'm like, crap. I had that elephant garlic for like a few years, so I was saving it up. No, it's supposed to rain this morning. Cool. I don't have to go, and maybe if it rained lots, I won't have to. I won't have to water the community garden. Well, it's not really a community garden, but yeah, planting and harvesting, it never ends. Next month I'll be planting carrots for winter because I'll have all the garlic and potatoes and everything be harvested. I've been enlarging my strawberry patch. That's I just did a major strawberry pick. But I had a friend come and ask if they want to go and do a charter fishing trip, but I'm not well enough. I get like about 2 hours of actual enjoyment out of the day where I don't have a problem. The rest of the time, it's a problem. Still have a couple of stitches in. Some fell out though, which is good, or dissolved, or magic, or whatever it is. You know, it's 4:16 somewhere. I'm gonna go make a coffee. I hope everything's gonna be cool. Friend of ours come to get onions when we was on vacation and pulled garlic instead. Couldn't tell the difference. Play garlic and onions. 420 in Ontario, in Southern Ontario. No, it's 420 on Vancouver Island, but where you are, Dave, it'd be 720. But you could pick it up and say it's 420 somewhere, because it is. I've got one. I have to be sneaky about it. But I'm all ready. But I'm waiting for coffee. Yeah. It's exciting, hey, growing food, to see it all happen. Yesterday, I had shallots and scallions. Those were really nice. Yeah, I put them in the miso soup, and I put in some horseradish. The clock is stuck at 420. I've heard of this problem. Mostly they're called cannabis aliens. Yeah. From far off worlds smoking cannabis. Aliens are. Not earthlings. Earthlings wouldn't do such a thing. You mentioned the cannabis or anything like that, and I think people are biased. It's just I know YouTube is. They're very biased. It's like, okay, but I mean, I understand that younger people. Some people want the younger people not to watch someone smoking or something, but I don't know. It's just younger people shouldn't be around people smoking anyway. I mean, that's common sense. If you don't have common sense, well, but yeah. I smoke cannabis for my glaucoma. It really helps. You don't have those squiggly lines as much. Yeah. Ooh, I can hear the coffee dripping and I can smell it. I tried this morning having, I don't know, some kind of Earl Grey tea. It was nice and everything. And, I have to cut out coffee. I'm finding it a little difficult. I only drink it when I first wake up, and then I don't have it anymore. Yeah. It's 420 here now. It's not even daylight. Must be cloudy. It said it was going to rain, but I seen sunshine on the photograph. But three of my friends came. Yeah, 3 people came and talked about fishing here yesterday, which was interesting. One wanted to do a charter, and I'm like, why would I do a charter? I have a boat and motor. They're like, well, we'll just go down to Sydney and go fishing, rent a boat. And I'm like, and a guide too. And they're like, oh yeah, so that's $1,000, eh? So I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? I know where the fish are out here, and it's all nice to get the offer. I mean, I wouldn't have had to pay for it at all. I dried a jar of elderflowers for tea. Nice. They make nice tea. Buddy Biggs. Welcome, Buddy Biggs. Good to see you. Just chit chatting about growing food, and you don't grow any, Buddy Biggs. You got a nice lawn, though. Yeah, just chatting about, from drinking tea instead of coffee in the morning to giving up drinking the tea and just go for the coffee. That's what I did. I grinded up some of those organic beans, and people saying hello to each other. Yep, Odom should still be here. But here you go, Buddy Biggs. This is what the finished product looks like. This is the unfinished product. See how it's ribbed like that? This one's finished. This one's not finished. This one I can kind of hang on a wire and leave it for a year. But I harvested probably 20 pounds. I don't know how many pounds, really. But I'll be eating good with some, a few mussels and some cream. Drop the cream in at the end, eh? And you boil your mussels for a few minutes, like say 5 minutes, steam them kind of thing, with just a little bit of water in the pot, and then that goes in here. And then drop the cream on at the end, and lots of dill, right? You drop lots of dill on, and that's 3 kinds of garlic there. They're all red Russian oriented though, but this one here, I cleaned up. I cleaned it up. You see, it's got nice ribs. You see, now this one I can just store. I'll put this on a wire. Maybe it's hard to say. I'm supposed to paint the kitchen soon, but when you see it, it's got those ribs like that. That's what you want. That's what. That's what's. Yeah, that's a fairly good. Twice the size of a golf ball, maybe 3 times. I'm exaggerating, 2 times. Rib cooking pleasure. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it is. It is at that. Yeah, so I harvested about half the garlic in the food forest floor, and I ended up with about 20 pounds, a couple of hundred heads for sure. But what happens now is when I pulled out that garlic, then I'm going to have something else growing there, like the beets and the chard will come up, and it's you're interplanting or succession crops, but not, I do it different than anybody else. Everybody else has got a nice rows of whatever, and then they put in between what they're going to harvest. I mine are all over the place. So I don't. I'm going to make a video today. You look like you're getting plenty of sun, Howie. Yeah, not well. I've been outside a little bit, but it's my blood pressure. You can see it. I'm all red. Yeah. I eat too much chocolate and drink too much coffee, the doc said. It's all full of caffeine, and nice doctor too, my doctor. She's a pretty nice lady. Yep. That's it. I answered all. Ooh, I can hear that coffee. Coffee. As soon as I walked outside yesterday, my allergies were insane. So how will you preserve the garlic? Just by drying it, Sammy Joe. And I put the wire through here, and it just goes onto a wire, and I just hang it in my kitchen in the dry, cool part of the pantry, maybe. I just hang it there. Mostly I just leave it in a basket, like a see-through basket. I'd pick that up, but I'm too bloody tired. Your allergies, hey? Huh. Interesting. Keep it dry. Keep it in a dry, cool place. Well, yeah. Yeah, you don't want any humidity because it'll mold. It'll rot. And when it goes yellow, you know, that's the Allison that's in it. That's good for you. It's okay for the garlic to dry right up and go yellow, like that's perfect. That's what you want. Yeah, that's beautiful garlic. I harvested about half of it, but when I harvested the garlic, and I take it out and I take out the potatoes, then everything else starts growing in, like the kale and the wasabi, cinnamon wasabi greens and Chinese spice cabbage and all that. That'll start growing in, and I'm going to make a video and explain all that. Where I'm not a traditional succession crop type person. I let it go what naturally would happen. I do interfere by harvesting, but that's about it. I don't really do a lot of weeding because I add soil to the ground. As the weeds are popping out, I'm putting another layer of soil on, another layer of soil. I might do like 5-6 layers of soil a year. And, so I don't, when I do weed, it'll be a tall weed that I just pull out as I go along. I don't have to get down there and dig it out or anything like that. It's generally something that's tall, and that when you put soil on top, it didn't actually do anything other than slowed its growth. So you want that canopy of big leaves from squash. You want that canopy. So what happens is it stays moist down here. And that's great if you're growing beans beside it or something like that. It's really good. And I saw your post about your oranges. Awesome. You can grow them up in that climate. Well, that was from the greenhouse, an orangery. They've built an orangery. And then for about 8 months a year, it is outside, and it's on the inside of an orangery. It's like a little plastic house with Christmas lights on the orange tree. And that's how it's done here. What happens is they clip. You know how you do a Christmas tree, so you just clip on those big bulbs, and you don't want it too close where it's going to burn, but you want it where it'll stay warm, and you just leave that on underneath plastic. Like they built a fairly nice plastic coming off their normal house. They have a little plastic house that comes off, and they grow them in a container. And apparently, that citrus do well in containers. I have a few in containers, and I'm doing all right. I can harvest 25 or 30 lemons. So that's pretty much any time of year. For about a couple months of the year, I do run out of lemons and citrus because it's just, I'm surprised a lot more people don't grow them here. When I first, like 30 years ago, there was this lady, she was a 90-year-old lady, and she was dragging out her lemon tree from the garage. And it was a Valencia, big, huge, monstrous lemons. And she would put it away after it bloomed and the lemons were just growing, like, and some were big and some were small. And she would put that away. And I said, I'll help you with that. She goes, no. And she was well over 90. And she goes, no, thank you. And I knew the person that allowed her to live there at that part of the house. She was a good friend of mine, this other person, and she helped people, And she's like, no, she never needs any help. She looks after herself. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But I always wondered what happened to her lemon tree. There's a certain lemons called Ponderosa lemons. They're huge. They're massive. I'd love to have one of them. I like your bananas. Yeah, it's a Cavendish banana. And I haven't had any bananas, but I know a guy up the road that does. Mitch. Yeah. And he grows them outside, but he covers them somehow. And then in February, he's got this little rack of bananas. By July and August, he's got like a bunch of bananas. It takes them a few months to get the actual bananas. They grow really slow because it's not exactly warm. But where he is, it never freezes. The sun hits at first thing in the morning, and it's all rock, the hillside. It's just up past me, and I'm in a rain shadow here. So this guy I met, he wanted some tree work done. So I did that. This was years ago. And then I looked over and I went, hey, there's 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 lemons over there. There's calamondins over there, and there's banana trees over there with bananas on it. And I'm like, holy schmolian, dude. And he put black, like a remade landscaper's cloth onto the rock, and he had little divots in the rock where he grew the bananas. And I was just like, wow. And he explained how the rock gets heated up by this black cloth. I was just like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm trying a pineapple. Could take 18 to 45 months, Dave. It all depends. I've grown pineapple in my greenhouse. I took the greenhouse down because it's tough on it. Yeah, it's only one pineapple. You only get one pineapple. It's a bromelade. I've grown them. They're delicious. They're way different than what you buy at the store. It tastes good. You got to keep it warm, like it's in an incubator. You can never get cold, or just the pineapple itself will just fall off and it'll just be immature. You have to maintain that heat, like by a window with a wood stove beside it or something like that. Bare minimum, it needs heat. Yeah, they sell them here, bromelades, hey, and or pineapples already growing. You can buy them. They're like $50 for a pineapple. I'm like, no. Ever since I made it myself my own way, I love pineapple pizza. Yeah, I like pineapple pizza too. I like pineapple and chicken, smoked chicken. You know, and gotta watch my food intake. So Doc's saying some things to me, so I gotta lose 25 pounds. I gained 15 pounds, but I don't know how. Must have been all the ice cream. This homemade organic ice cream that I eat, man, it's something. I ate 1 liter of it yesterday, 946 milligrams, I think it was. Not quite a liter. At least it wasn't a 4 liter pail, like a gallon. But I ate it. It was vanilla. I didn't eat the chocolate one. I have had the chocolate one, but yesterday I ate the vanilla bean one, and I went and got some strawberries. Yeah, 18 months for a $2 pineapple doesn't sound like a good proposition unless you have a field of them. Well, you can grow a pineapple from just a slip from the top, like the green part. If you pull it off and it pops off, you just put that in some rooting hormone and it'll grow another pineapple for you. It's really super easy. My buddy Dan in Florida there, Dan's Permaculture, I think that I watched a video on his that he did that, or if not, then someone else I watched them do it. I may have tried it a couple times and gave up. I grew a coconut tree for 3 years from a coconut. That was pretty cool. But then it got really cold in the winter. I was pushing it. I was leaving it out over winter, and one winter it made it, but it was a mild winter. But I had chose a coconut from Vietnam, from the highlands, that may have been a similar climate to the mountains of British Columbia. I tried to pair it up so I would be successful. Sweet and savory don't go. Well, some would agree. I like the savory though. I like it. I'm growing several savory thyme like plants. Oh, my coffee's ready. This is that disappearing act. Ah, oops, I'm back. Have you grown moringa? Not really. I was given a bunch of moringa seeds to grow, but it's not warm enough here. If I'm going to grow moringa, I got to take it in from outside inside. I've eaten. I have moringa powder, and I've eaten the seeds. The seeds are delicious. You just peel the seed and eat it. That's what they do in Mexico. My buddy put a bunch in his luggage, and I still have them, but they require heat, like in India or Florida, or they need heat. They can't get cold; they'll die. Yeah. Unless you're growing it for fun and love it, well, maybe. Yeah, it's growing moringa is not easy unless you have the heat. Where you are, Joe, you'd have to bring it inside. The ground can't even get cold. They're very sensitive. But I've eaten it, and I've eaten the seeds. I could grow it. 440. Well, it's past 440. I mean, so 420. So we're gonna do the bandit there. Yeah, I should know it's a superfood. Well, the word superfood is tossed around liberally, to say the least. Superfood to me, it covers every nutrient that you need, all the starches and sugar you need. You need a certain amount of sugar, carbs. So that's pretty rare, but I've been told that it is a superfood by some people that are they're experienced in superfood fields. But a mixture of all different colored vegetables are all the superfoods to me. That it's like very few things give you protein, but like kale does, moringa does. Protein, amino acids is that's the building blocks, right? So where you get those, like in goji berries, beets. But yeah, moringa is one. I never heard of moringa. I just searched it. They make a bunch of like supplements with it. Yeah, yeah. You can buy it in powder, put it in your smoothie. And it is a superfood. But again, you have to watch where it's grown. Okay. That's, sure, it might be superfood, but where was it grown? Right. That's the key. And but if you grow a little bit of everything, you're going to make out okay. Like if you grow like polyculture, grow something of everything, and you'll find your niche of what grows well for you. Moringa is going to require um, tropical, right? Zone 9. It loves heat. It adores heat. It grows quite rapidly, hey, when it has the right conditions. But I have seeds of moringa. Yeah, it's an interesting plant. Hmm. Cheers. Mm. Oh man, that coffee in the morning. I tried tea. It's like, ugh. So I harvested strawberries and beets, tops, and greens. Cheers, Joe. Been harvesting quite a bit, and I'm right in full flight of picking the strawberries. I can pick bowls every day now. Yeah, I haven't seen the salmon running here in a while. I thought maybe you quit. Well, I have this thing called glaucoma where I see these squiggly lines and I'm not allowed to drive. So if I have the salmon, then I don't have the squiggly lines. But I only do it in the morning. It actually lasts a long time, probably like most of the day, just from doing that. And right now I'm having squiggly lines. Interesting. Yep. And as a matter of fact, you're still not seeing the salmon swimming here, there, Buddy Biggs. I'm invisible. You can't see me. I don't exist. Just a hummingbird flying around. Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, laser surgery. Be careful, buddy. What haunts you today will come back and haunt you more tomorrow. A friend of mine had laser surgery. Didn't go good. No. And then I've had other friends that had laser surgery and it went really well. How did your surgery go, buddy? Hope it went well for you, man. And paste. Good morning, Chef Tech. I had a terrible ordeal to go through, and I probably have to go through it with the other eye soon. I have a terrible ordeal. I just skipped that. Oh, copy. yeah, yeah. I've had a bit of my own workings at the surgery myself the past few months. Nasty bit of business. Chef Tech. I think I met you you were up on my panel before. That's right. I was trying to think where I know you from. And Gil's channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday morning. Well, I'm sorry to have to say it, Buddy Biggs, but it is what it is. It's East Coast there. Well, I'm glad you're on the East Coast. It's a nice place. Chef Tech 86. Cool name. Grow Big says hello to you. I love hot coffee. Cold coffee's yuck. But yeah, I've been harvesting quite a bit. I can harvest a lot. And the cherries are almost ready. The plums, the sugar plums are getting real close to. They're huge. I'm like, oh, the figs are loading up too. They're not ready, but that strawberry verte will be. Okay, kids, I hope you all have an awesome day. I gotta go. See you, Buddy Biggs. Cool guy. Very cool. Yeah. As soon as I harvest something, I like something to come right behind it and start taking over the place in the food forest floor. So I've been harvesting my lettuce, and as I've been doing that, the garlic came in, and then when I'm harvesting the garlic, now the potatoes are coming in, and I'll harvest the potatoes, and then the squash will come in, and then I'll leave a few here and there too. Yeah, I won't harvest all my garlic. I leave smaller looking garlics, and And even some of the bigger heads here and there, I just leave them and they just get gigantic. If you leave them for 2 years, they really get fat. And then they bunch up and there's like huge bunch of garlic down there. But I think it's like the third year or something. It's just a ton of garlic. You never harvest the garlic. It just keeps growing, eh? Well, at least here. I mean, every place could be different. Grow Big TV. Wish I had more of a chance to watch more of Gil's channel. Just need more time in the day. Yeah, yeah. I try to make it there, but sometimes life, I think he wanted me up there talking about, I noticed there was just recently, I noticed that he sent me a link and he knows my email. But I noticed a couple, 3 days later, I don't always check my email. And a lot of times things get shot into spam and whatever else. So that's kind of a useless thing for me. But I don't use it ever anyway. Maybe get someone's address to send them seeds or something. But Gil wanted me to talk about SHGF garden. Like if you got to throw down right now, what are you going to do, right? To me, it's a no-brainer. But if you don't know, it could be a real brain that you need to learn a whole bunch of stuff. But I would look at it as fresh food, what grows quickest, what's hardy, what can be grown and sown and grown multiple times in a season. And it all comes back to one thing, radish. I've always planted radish because they're nitrogen fixers. Well, Canada is like that, Sammy Joe. You have to pull the garlic. But here on west coast of British Columbia, on Vancouver Island, you can leave anything in the ground and it'll regrow, like that are bulbs. Yeah. Here they regrow dahlias, regrow gladiolas. They regrow most bulbs and tubers will grow here outside. Lots. Well, here where I am is I could put a potato in the ground right now. It'll come next year. And if I don't harvest them, then they'll grow a bunch more and a bunch more. They'll just keep growing. Right? What can you plant once and it comes back every season? Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, fruit trees, nut trees, and like my arugula comes back here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to come back where you are or anyone else. I'm just saying what comes back here for me. And I got to make that distinction. I'm in a different place than most people. I'm in a temperate marine climate where I get about 2 weeks of actual freezing temperatures every year. Most people get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in Canada of winter like freezing temperatures. I don't. I get 2 weeks if I'm lucky. Sometimes maybe 2 days. Rare, but it does happen. Climate here is different for some reason. I know people that grow things like loquats outside and passion fruit here and kiwi. I do too. I'm in a different zone. It's all in the best thing that I can tell people what to grow, like what you want to plant once and it grows, is there's a polyculture. So what that means is there's these plants, they're all living in this little village together on the ground. So what happens is they look after each other and they repel bugs or they put nutrients in the soil. It all comes down to layers. Everything in nature is a layer. Now, you're going to have underground food like Dongjing, um, potatoes, any bulb or tuber that goes under the ground, grows underground here in British Columbia, Vancouver Island. Where I am at this sea level, there's so many variables. And I have microclimates within the marine temperate climate here, natural ones and then unnatural man-made ones. So it all goes by concept of observation and and govern accordingly with some little bit of knowledge on gardening. But if you want to plant something once and it just keeps coming back voraciously, I'd say goji berries that for a superfood, right? That'd be a superfood, goji berries. You can live on them. Yep. I have lots. The leaves of goji berries make beautiful soup base, beautiful. And they go beautiful in salad. But with any leaves as they age, they get high in oxalates. It doesn't really matter which ones it is. Some have more, some have less. Asparagus for sure. You look at how long the food is available for you in your area by going and seeing others doing it. Okay. I that's the best advice you could do is find some of the older people, some young people too. Some young people are badass growers. Yeah, I know a few, but I know a lot of older people that grow food, a ton. Anybody over 50, the chances are they're growing something. Anybody under 50 where I live, chances are they're not growing anything because they have like a few markets here, and there's shady markets too. I went to one that the CRD puts on, and here's people selling vegetables from California and saying, "Oh, I'm growing locally." Well, it wasn't grown locally. I bloody well know it wasn't grown locally because it's impossible where I'd be growing it. I know the difference, right? I said that to them too. They refused to answer anything I said. They just obviously they've been counseled on legal issues before. They don't say anything. That's the number one defense, right? Not just don't say anything. I did that one time. I phoned up this company and I said, "Yeah, it just says that imported. It was beans. It was brown beans. And I bought one can, but I'm going to investigate what's all in there. It wasn't BPA free either. I don't eat canned goods, but I like to keep some stored." So I phoned them up and I said, "Yeah, where did you source your beans at, and what factory did you make them at, and was it unionized, non-unionized, was it inspected?" Not a question was answered. Nothing. So they had legal advice to do that. And when you see that, when you're dealing with someone that doesn't answer you, you can bloody well know that that person had legal advice. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've had doctors do that where they just don't say anything back when you ask a question, a very pertinent question too. They just won't answer it because it's legally binding, right? So by not answering, there's no legality of an untruth or anything. It's really bizarre shit that these people pull when they do that. It's manipulation. That's what I look at it. But in nature, all works together for the benefit of the ecosystem, and it's all soil's made in layers, and you can't go wrong with making soil. Really, it's all in layers, eh? But planting something that comes back year after year, go and see someone in your locale that's already growing food, eh? Like they're growing it, they're going and selling it, or they've got a market going, an actual legitimate market, not bullshit one. A legitimate market it'll have its own canned goods, like jars of jams, jellies, and honey. And then they'll have their own baked bread from their wood fire oven. And then they'll have what's in season only or taken from another farm that's in their locale that they didn't grow, but they can show that it came from like this farm or that farm. Like they'll have a notice on it. That is present here. But I have seen stuff that's just nothing to do with what they're growing. And they're just Roundup people. They round up hundreds of acres here every year. And I refuse to buy anything there. I won't do it. I'm absolutely not. Lots of people there die of all kinds of crazy diseases. Yeah, I know them personally, good friends that have them people. They spray it. You see, you look up the valley and or up along the hillside where they grow all the onions and cabbages because there's nice drainage there, and it's just perfect for growing. It's perfect. And you look down on the one part of the field, it's all yellow and green and yellow. And the yellow is they're spraying all the weeds, and then they're going to till it, and then they're going to plant it. Right? They plant corn, succession of corn crops. They plant all the different squash and cabbages and onions, and that. So they all belong to this. All the farmers belong to this cooperative. So their product is sold throughout where all the other farms sell their product at. So what happens is you end up with this Roundup food, and it's mixed in, and you're going to this co-op thinking because you're brainwashed, going, oh yeah, it's a co-op, I'm saving money, and it's community. You better be careful. Yeah, you end up with some food and hard lumps growing in your breast, or worse, downstairs, something's down there that's got to be removed, or it's freaking Roundup, man. It's and I refuse. I know organic farmers won't even drive on that freaking highway because they do spray there. That's how much they avoid it. Yeah. Yeah. When the wind's blowing, and I've seen that, and they're spraying their Roundup, and that's what it is spraying. Sure, I see they got this it's a cup like thing they drag along the ground, but it doesn't matter. It still goes in the water side. Water source, just like Corky said, the stuff's evil, man. You know, it's yeah. I've been to Vancouver. My son's lived in Langley. BC is beautiful. Langley is really nice. Yeah, yeah. Howie culture, yeah. But you got to watch where you're sourcing your food from. You really do. It's just washing it is not. That's you're being programmed. Oh, it's okay if you wash it. It's not okay. It's not. It really isn't. It's like saying, well, like you read the paper. Well, that guy was known to the police. What was he known for? Jaywalking. Like you're just being fed a little bit, so you just go around in this circle when it comes to this societies that we live in. Sorry about the coughing. I don't have a cough. There, problem solved. Maybe not. Yep. Wonder why that happened. Talking about programming here, and all of a sudden I can't breathe anymore. Wouldn't want to bring on any extra stress. I agree with you. You're a wise person. These kids, I used to work in a pie factory years ago. These kids would all come in, right? You got to put the pie top on, make the dough, whatever, freeze them all. And I used to teach them kids. I'd go, just think, what would Howie do? That's what I would say to them. Hey, Sweet Thumb. Good to see you. But yeah, just general chit chat about some of my garlic harvest. Yeah. I probably have 20 pounds or something of them. I really like my garlic because it pairs well with the mussels and clams and oysters along the ocean shore here, and you know, a lot of different eats. Yeah, it's not bad. I'm happy with it. It's got nice definition, Joe. I'm happy with that when it's got nice cloves like that. When you see that, here it is here. You see it? Oh, there we go. That right there. Oops. That ribbage. If you have that ribbage, you can harvest. Hello, sweet thumb, huge. Yep, and we're just discussing about general things. It's really just planting and harvesting, and mostly it's all about growing food and treating people right, treating Mother Earth right, the planet. It's not a garbage dump. That's basically what we talk about. Maybe talk about the usage of herbs or stuff like that. I encourage all conversation. It's just that if it's related to the planet Earth of growing food, it'd be appreciated. Some people come in and before, not now, but before, and they try to take over what your conversation is about. And so I put a safeguard up there. It's about Earthlings being permanently attached to their culture of living on planet Earth, and they belong here. Earthlings belong to the planet. They don't own it. Aliens can show up, so nobody owns it. It's quite a concept. Man's first home was a cave. That speaks so many volumes. Caves. I really love caves. I believe humans will go back to them, become feral. That's one of my beliefs. If not, I'm sure that is happening. Feral earthlings. I mean, you have feral chickens, you have feral turkeys, feral pigs, hogs. Feral cat, feral dog. Why not a feral earthling? One that runs around with body hair. Sorry, shouldn't laugh at what you're saying, but that's what it would be. That's what it would be like when you see those Sasquatches. Video. They're all covered in hair. Well, I guess a human wouldn't be much different. That went feral, right? And caves be perfect for. You'd get used to you would climatize to being there. People go, oh, it's damp and it's cold in a cave. Now if you have a little fire there, the rocks heat up, eh? I find earthlings pretty funny. I look at a lot of them as like little newborn deer that are all wobbly. They're trying to stand up. I did a little stint last year or so ago where what happens after the earthquake. So I just went out and I threw up a tarp, put a bed on the ground, and put the barbecue there. And I mean, that's what's going to happen. I know, folks are looking for something different or whatever, but I mean, that's what's going to happen. I mean, look at the war zones today. What do they have? Well, tarp, propane burner, or they're using wood in a little cob oven or rocket stove. That's it. And millions of people are living like that, if not billions of people living like that around the world. And there's in a mud hut or whatever. This morning, I literally tripped over a stupid amount of food I had no idea was even there. Interesting. You won't find that stupid amount of food after there's nothing on the shelf. There'll be hordes going for your place, sweet thumb. You know, never tell your strengths or your weakness. But if you do have to do it, then that's cool. But I mean, right here probably be okay. But I mean, someone that knows you where you are or something, try to hide your food. That's what I do. I hide underground food. Like I grow sunchokes and I take away the sunchokes, the green part, and leave them in the ground. And then in the wintertime when I need them, I just pick them out. Same with potatoes. You wouldn't even know that there was potatoes down there stored underground. Now, like some places you can't store your potatoes underground or your garlic, they freeze and rot, right? Like, don't get me wrong. But where I am in my situation, you must understand your locale, right? Is it a bad neighborhood? Is it a good neighborhood? Are there a lot of different folks visiting that are not at your standard, let's say? That's an issue. We've had recently break-ins of cars on the street. I had my reciprocating saw stolen, a board, a can of WD-40, and a can of Liquid Ranch. So far that I know of. But I have noticed that the gate lock was left off or the gate was open. So someone just went through there and they didn't want to make that noise. They're professional thieves. Right? And they're professional drug addict thieves, or they're still human beings. So I just try to scare them off or something like that. But I noticed the police were across the road yesterday and they were investigating break-ins of cars here in my neighborhood. So there's feral people here. So I just said, okay. So I went and I started harvesting. Chef Tex says, oh, Sweet Thumb says, I better read some of this stuff. I was checking out a persimmon tree and stepped on some half-eaten fruit. Okay. Throw a little soil on that half-eaten fruit. That's another layer. Gil is doing a feed tonight. They're coming for your food. Yeah, I'm ready for that. I got hidden satellite stash and resupply camp and satellite camp and another place and underground and stuff like that. Hey, and then mental note where food grows. Without any help, like what I would forage. So I have a mental note. I also have notes of where fish can be caught, small handbooks on that kind of thing, like that I put together myself. But they're coming for your food could mean government too, but that's like fear porn stuff. Government's not interested in you unless you're like high tech, big tech growing food. Like, the government's interested. If you go buy 100 chickens here in Canada, Agriculture Canada wants to know your address. I think it's like even if you buy a chicken now. So whether they're coming for your food or just, there could be a bird flu or something, and they need to know that your chickens are not, spreading the disease. There's many reasons why someone would come and take someone's food. Control the population during war. Well, then you'd have everybody starving, dying. Oh, we win. No, nobody wins with a war, and there's nothing morally right about starving someone on a planet, man, on this planet, because I can grow a lot of food. I can grow enough food for myself and lots of other people. Just on this little tiny little piece I have. So, but this I harvested this week. Yeah. And they're ribbed, you see? They're all ribbed. That's what you want. You want this fat filled out right here. You see this? It's ribbed, and that's what you want. This is powerful food. Food is medicine, and this stuff here. I mean, the Roman legions wouldn't go anywhere without their garlic. They just wouldn't go. Jill is doing a feed. Excuse me. They're coming for your food. Yeah, that's wild. Hey, oh, I've got to watch that. I missed the last couple of ones that he had. I had a lot to do. Thought somebody had tossed the fruit in the yard. Oh, I see. That's why you're stumbling on it. Walked around a few minutes and there is a 20-foot pear tree loaded with fruit. Nice, nice. My pear tree is loaded too. I have a grape in my pear tree and a climbing midnight rose. And she's beautiful. I should do a video of that today. Get up there and have a look at it. Hey, Doc. Good to see you, Paula Ruffin. Good to see you. Good morning. Hey, Mr. Thielen. Good to see you. I'll be right back. I'm just going to grab a coffee. There we go. So are you feeling better from your trip there? You're looking pretty rough there. You're all white. I was just like, oh my gosh, you were sick. I had the same thing one time. I just went completely white and I was like, oh, even though, I was out in the sun, I was still all white and peakish. I'm like, oh God, I was sick one time, like with a flu or cold. And yeah, I hope you're recovering well. You were telling about your your experience. It did not sound pleasant. Wow, good hot coffee. Yeah, just general chit chat about planting and harvesting this week. I harvested quite a bit of strawberries. I'll freeze some soon. I'll have the mass quantity. And I harvested probably 20 or more pounds of garlic. Yeah. And they're all have the ribs, you see? And that's what you want. If you got hard necks, you break off the top and how she needs some of that nice garlic picked yesterday. Yeah. It's pretty fresh. I didn't let it dry with the leaves on. Normally I would, but I didn't. Well, hello, puppy dog. What's going on? What's going on? You hungry? Oh, yeah. You become a rock star when you're hungry. Like that. You say that word. Oh, so today it's supposed to rain, but I noticed one of the people that I did a community garden with this year, there's no one there for a couple of days and no one's watering, but apparently it's supposed to rain. So that's a bit of a blessing. It's nice when it rains just perfect amount. You have too much humidity or not enough, it's just a problem. People saying hello, so hello. I was just talking about looking at some of the fields that are all yellow and ones that are all green, the people that are using Roundup. So I avoid it like the plague. I don't even drive down there much at all. I have to go past all them Roundup farms just to get to this one place. Yeah, there's a road that goes past them that drives down to the ocean. It's quite a bit of a drive. Oops. I would see her every day. I would see her every day. Yeah. She's a brilliant human being, that's for sure. A good person too. My dog wants my attention. What? Do you need to go outside? You gotta go. We'll go outside. Okay, it looks like it's outside. Yeah, because I live on the ocean, having the ocean right here, having garlic and onions and potatoes and kale and beets is just pretty much staple foods. Because at low tide, I can just go get some clams, or there's like huge gooey duck clams, razor clams here, manila clams, little necks. There's limpets here. Yeah. There's actually snails here too, but don't eat the purpley green looking ones or you're going to get pretty psychedelic high. I didn't do it, but I've seen people do it. If you're talking about me being sick, I'm much better at. What do you mean? Yeah, of course I was asking about if you're well. Sorry. I'm much better. Still a lingering cough, but it was a rough 2 weeks. Yeah, rough 2 weeks. Well, sending you lots of love, Doc. There's some garlic for you. Can always ship you a few bulbs if you'd like. Could do that. Don't want to get in any trouble though. You bought some at the farmer's market. I know they're popping up now, and people have carrots and all kinds of cool, neat things. And the strawberry season started here. It's delicious, just going grazing through. Just you're eating this and that, and the blueberries are not quite going blue yet, but they will soon. And raspberries here and there. I see a little raspberry. And plums are coming along. This Japanese sugar plum's beautiful looking this year. It's much bigger than normal. Might have been all the rain too. Yes, I will never refuse garlic. No, I love it because I can I compare it with just about anything. Like yesterday, I had some organic miso soup from Japan, and I had the garlic, and I had some scallions, and I pickled some green leaf horseradish. I pickled that because it's sweet and salty. People think it's really hot because they eat it fresh. When it's super fresh, it is hot, but when it cures, it gets a little salty and sweet, and it's beautiful in a miso soup. Off to work. See you tonight. Hopefully, Gil's doing. They're coming for your food. You said. I missed the last one. What to do for growing food, like during the SHTF. But take care, Chef Tech. Take care. Off to work. See you tonight. Wonderful. Yes. I press fresh clove into my salad greens. So yummy. Really? Hey? Press fresh clove. You're all making me hungry. Yeah, it's terrible. Cheers. But I harvested about 20 plus pounds. Take care, Chef Tech. Of the garlic this week. And probably same amount of strawberries, maybe a little less. And or maybe a little more. I don't keep much track of it. And been harvesting beets at the new. I turned the lawn into a food garden. Fresh clove of garlic. I'm gonna give that a go. I've had fresh garlic, but I don't press it. I just chop it up and throw it on my sandwich, and then nobody wants anything to do with me. I don't care. I feel great from eating it. But it's $30 a pound here for garlic. That's what it costs for fresh, organic, local garlic. It could be $30 plus. Now you can buy the import garlic for like $1.49, and they all look white, and you peel them and they look whiter, and then the flesh is all white, and it's like, wonder how much formaldehyde was this dipped in? Preservative, right? I don't buy garlic unless it's from like some organic farmer here that I know, that I personally know. And I'm like that with a lot of my, apples, pears. If I'm going picking them somewhere else, it has to be where they grew wild by themselves, or an abandoned farming village, or they have a lot of abandoned logging camps here, and you can see where they left um, their fruit trees. Where the schoolhouse was, there's a bunch of fruit trees. It's like, wow, check it out in the fall. And I've done that a lot. It's amazing how much has been planted that grew wild here in British Columbia. Product of, yeah, we're not gonna I'm gonna steer clear of mentioning just imported. I'm just yeah, I don't eat anything from that country at all for any reason. I wouldn't buy anything from there. Oh, my doggy wants in. Yeah, I don't buy stuff even locally here. I don't have time to get poisoned by their garbage. I don't have time for it. Like here, people use Roundup, but now, see, in this municipality, Roundup is illegal to use no matter what you're doing. But I'm on the border with this other municipality, and they're spray happy of their paraquat and Roundup and anything else that kills whatever they don't want growing. And it's weird too. Some of their family members are popping off from cancer, and they got growths, and they lose kids and that not born, and it's just like, oh. And then down the road a little bit, everybody's okay. It's like, you know what? Check your water. Had to take the dog out and water the car. I know, right? Watering is very therapeutic to me. I get out there and I'm watering it and I'm soaking it and I'm sticking the hose into the ground and it's bubbling up, still dry soil. Like, this needs a good soaking. That's like corn. They really like a good soaking, like the ground wise and nutrients. And they're heavy feeders like cucumber. You need to spray cucumber every day with 2-3 times a day. You want to spray dripping of water on the leaves. Yeah, really helps with anything that water, vegetable, or like strawberries. Strawberries require a lot of water, man. Oh yeah, they're right full of water. So when you're growing water vegetables like that or fruits, you got to give a lot of water. If you don't, you end up with little tiny strawberries or little tiny squash or little tiny cucumbers. They didn't grow very many. They might only grow one. You wonder why. So one of the ladies that their family had a guy comment on one of my videos criticizing me about, I said glyphosate Roundup is forever chemical. He said I should do my research. I was like, perhaps you should. Exactly. It's a hormone and it's here for, I mean, they're finding it in people's water supply, the farm supply, the creeks, and it's not something that's just going to go away, and it'll go on to water source. So obviously, glyphosate is not a cool thing to have. It's a very ugly thing. Some countries like Italy and France, you're not allowed to use that. They don't want it on their wheat. Well, in France, they don't eat corn anyway. It's silage for fodder for animals, for ruminants and chickens and whatever. But there's been studies on Roundup that you weren't told about, but they fed you the food anyway. It was all manipulated. So everybody's just maybe like 1% of the population, maybe a little higher over in France, that when you buy noodles in France, there's no enriched flour that it's made from. No, no, it's not allowed to have it. Like when you get kosher food, it's got to be from where the source is, and it can't be full of garbage, right? Nobody wants the Roundup food from America, but it's snuck into dog food, to cat food, to bird food, human food. That's the worst one. But as a forever chemical, I don't think it's going away anytime soon. I wouldn't worry about what too many people comment about their doc. For myself, I take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously, that person doesn't know what you know, what others know. Perhaps they're the paid lobbyist. That's the worst kind of hypocrites. Them are the worst. Ugh. You get a hypocrite, it's like, ugh, vampire energy thief. Carrots need a lot of water, depending on the ground, for sure. Yeah, yeah, they love being damp when they're seeds. I mean, they love it. They don't like drying out of water. You're absolutely right. With our running for president, glyphosate is going to be a topic. Wonder what Biden and Trump will say about it. I don't know. I only care about what I say about it, and it's garbage. And if someone else thinks it's good, then that's their problem. That obviously they don't know they're here. Well, there's a couple of them fellows running the show. They're not here. They can't even remember what they're talking about half the time. Why the hell would you listen to any of them? I don't get involved with politics anyway. We all know what poly means, many. And well, hell, if you haven't had a tick, don't get one. I'm just joking now. Joe, you're pretty funny. Be nice to have the glyphosate is gone as a topic, though. Like you wouldn't have to talk about it anymore because it's gone. But the corporation is interesting. Especially, Dave Knight, I do not use manure anymore because most hay is sprayed and Roundup goes through the animal. Well, that could be. It could very well be. But like I said, you got to do your research, what's growing in your locale. It's an adventure when you're going to grow your own food. It's going to be like a super adventure because you can't grow everything yourself, but you have to find all these sources and then show them some love with some cash and initiate the incentive for them to send you like garlic cloves or something like that. And glyphosate is in your food. Chances are it's in you. What amount is chances are of what you forage. And even then, if you are foraging, it could be in the water supply. And, it's a common sense type thing. Especially sandy soils. Yeah, water drains away. But they love sandy soil, carrots. Well, I'm testing a 4-year-old and found glyphosate toxicity. I am now treating him. His mom claims she hasn't raised the kids with any chemical. Sadly, it was probably in her for years. Yeah, it's not going away anytime soon. Yeah, it's like asbestos. It doesn't go away. That dust is there. Yeah. Hey, Rebel Canners, Tammy, welcome. Good to see you, Tammy. And Joe saying hello, and Sammy saying, yeah, that is so sad. We all try to do our very best for our kids. Yeah. And when someone malevolently includes something that's going to hurt people and cause a certain amount of disease, but if there's a class action, we only got to pay $1 billion, but we make 10 billion. Those type of people that sleep well at night with poisoning others, it's not cool, man. It's just not cool. For sure. Big farms around here, small farms, not so much. And Paul has got to run, gang. Have an amazing day. You as well, Doc. We're just chit-chatting about this and that, and probably the same things you chit-chat about. But here you go, Doc. Get you one more look at some garlic. That just there you go. When they dry out, I'll send you a few bulbs. Okay, but it'll be a couple of weeks, and I think I've got your address somewhere in an email. Actually, saved someone's email. That's rare, but yeah. After they dry out and I don't tell them what's in there, dog will probably sniff it out at the airport or anyway. See ya, Doc. Yeah. And Tammy's saying, everybody's saying goodbye. It's so beautiful. Thank you. I feel better already. I give you my word. I'll send some, but it'll be a couple of weeks when it's super dry. I don't want it going moldy. But you can enjoy some really nice garlic. It's very clean. Urban, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Urban. And Doc says bye, everyone. And Mr. Thielen saying hello. Hello. Hi, Urban. Yeah, Urban Chronicles is here. Gardening Chronicles. Yeah. Very cool channel. Very, very cool. Oops. There you go. And I've got a coffee here. Oh, I love those fresh beans. I tried to with just a cup of tea this morning. The coffee. Those sniffer dogs sniff out seeds from Joe. Oh, Joe, you didn't mention that. Great channel in person. Yeah, the Doc's pretty cool. And an interesting human being. Very interesting. Shows a lot of love for people, man. Yeah, rare treat. Yeah, yeah. People are saying hello, laugh out. What Rick said, those sniffer dogs sniff out seeds from Joe. I bet. Hey, I didn't know, Joe. But they definitely sniff out some of these puppies. Yeah. There you go. It's hard to get the camera angle. There we go. There's some garlic. I should have left the leaves on for like a couple of weeks and let them dry, but I got about around 20 pounds. Maybe I got more because I got a lot, maybe more. I don't know. I didn't weigh it, but I mean, it's going to dry some. But this is here. You can see the ribbage here. You can see the ribbage. That's what you want when you harvest your garlic. I'm a little ahead. I'm a couple of weeks ahead of the rest of Canada, maybe a month in some places or more. Beautiful red garlic. Yeah, they're red Russian garlic. That's for sure, mixed in. And I've grown some from seed before over the years. So I just keep replanting. And well, it's funny because when something goes to seed, I'm just throwing the seed on the ground. You see these little tiny, looks like lawn grass growing. I'm like, oh, couple little stakes around there. Just let them air out. Oh yeah, they're in a basket. I don't want to pick it up, but it's a big, huge, like see-through wire mesh basket. Beautiful. I can't wait until mine is done. Yep. Oh yeah, let them air out. Oh yeah, I only keep them like about 3 or 4 deep. And I think I've clipped off most of the root, but it's Friday today and I get to see my buddy at the organic farm, but I'm just passing through because I'm going to a rock and gem show and blistering from Barnacles and Ventures there over in jolly old England. He wishes to see a video, so I said I'd make a video. I'm not going to make shorts no more. I put up a bunch of shorts on growing food and planting it and harvesting it. And I think I'm done with that. And it's nice to have that and all, but it's neat to see that. But I wouldn't waste too much time on it, that's for sure. Yeah, you can only do so many shorts. I think I probably did like, I don't know, a bunch of them. But the thing about doing that is, for me, was just to show harvesting food or show flowers or something like that. At that time of year, what's blooming, and so it had that effect for sure. That would be nice to have some video of the organic farm. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, there's close to 30 acres. Some are resting. Some acres are resting. And then some other acres are in high production of food and different foods in different places. Like the guy uses birds to seed his kale, for real. Because the birds sit there and eat the seed from the kale that he lets go to seed and just spreads it around. He comes along with a shallow till and just skimmies the ground. And then you see all this greenery growing. There's kale here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there. He does that with a lot of greens. I was just like, that's it? He's like, yeah, I don't even have to plant it. I'm like, oh, cool. Learn something new. And he allows some things to go to seed, like and to self seed it, self sow itself. And that's some tongue twisting words, but yeah. So the big thing about growing food is actually keeping it. That's the big thing with processing, storing for a certain amount of time or longer time or that kind of thing. Like you're what you're going to do with it. Hi, Adrian. How you doing? Good to see you. And so growing food is a big thing for myself. I love it. I do it every day, gladly do it every day, and I like working in with the nature. That's beautiful, and whatever I do is nature oriented. Hey there, Mr. King Poobah. Hello, hello. Yep. And Joe is saying hello to Adrian. Yep. And the King Poobah showed up. Well, well, well. Boom, Dustin. Yeah, Corky's hubby. She did a video the other day, but I was so tired I only watched part of it. And she had her camera on her phone and she's like really tired looking too. And I'm like, oh, I'll watch this later. Then I forgot all about it until I just see the King Poobah show up. But yeah, I've got another garlic harvest, but they're like super big, huge garlics. Like they won't be ready till September. I know that already. And I tried a couple of them. They had little tiny little, I'm like, no, that ain't it. I thought I might get away with it. The timing was right to get away with it, but they're taking a longer amount of time. And if they don't do it, I'm just going to leave them in the ground. I'm going to cut them off and leave them there and hide them. Put some more soil on top from my Pathway soil bank because that'll be another layer. They're totally hidden. I hide my potatoes like that. My oca is, and I have like 3 or 4 different colors of oca. It's a little tiny tuber, or is it a tuber or bulb? I imagine it's a bulb. Yeah, they have bugles. I think. Too much for this kid. Yep, won't be long now. Yep, counting down days until I see you and Corky. What? I seen you over at Corky's before. I wish I was there. You guys look like you're having just a ton of fun. Yeah, canning and growing and getting to know and social life. That's awesome stuff to do. Hey, it's very mentally healthy to do. But harvest, what I do here, yeah, okra. No, yeah, I don't care for okra. Ugh. Some people do, but I'm talking oca, O-K-A, oca. It's a little tuber that grows underneath the ground. It's not the green thingamajogger. I wish you were going to be there too, Howie. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that would be. Hey, there's always Zoom. Right? But I'd love to go to the Okanagan this year because I know which ones are the ones that don't spray their fruit and stuff. Because I've traveled the Okanagan a lot over the years and even lived there for many years. And that's some of the best peaches you will ever eat is from the Okanagan. I mean, of course, the Georgia sweet peaches are pretty darn nice. And some of them California peaches are pretty good too, but they don't taste like Okanagan peaches to me. And you got to watch it. People even put the name Okanagan peach on it. It's not. It's from like Olala or close to Washington State or from Washington State. I know the difference. I know what an Okanagan peach is. The Okanagan peaches are almost the size of my bloody head. They're yellow with a slight orange tinge, and they're massive. One peach will feed 5 people. So I know what an Okanagan peach is. And then they have other ones like Red Havens and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, the Red Haven peach is grown in the Okanagan. But these ones were are from a variety. I don't exactly know the whole story behind them, but I do know that and several people grow them Okanagan peaches. There's a collective there, and it grows from Kelowna to Osoyoos and Oliver and Okanagan Lake there. That's the Okanagan. It's a First Nations word, Okanagan. I forget what it meant, but yeah. Yeah. And up, I'm in the south. I love me some okra. Yeah, I didn't find the texture right for me, but I mean, I'm kind of fussy. But some people I know love okra, and some people don't like it, and I'm one that I can take it or leave it. If I'm super hungry, I'll eat it, but I'm not that hungry. I just it didn't the texture didn't do it for me. I wish you were going to be there too. Yep, me too. That'd be awesome. A meetup. You can't say the other part about the tube view, YouTube. You can't say those two words together because they take it out. I don't know why. So there's my secret wording. And yep, I'm in the south. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting the different places that grow different foods, like from Florida to Canada. There's a whole belt of growing. I can eat okra and soup, no slime that way. Really? I didn't. You know what? There was a silica taste that it just didn't do it for me. But you know what? You should eat okra because it gives you pliability with your muscles and stuff, your elasticity in your face and stuff like that, and your heart. It's really good for you, okra. Like, but I couldn't do. I tried cooking it this way, that way, crisping it up, and it's just not for me. And it's one of the only things I actually don't eat. And my rule with okra is chew 3 times and down the. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have to have it. You should be able to chew it 50 times and masticate. When you're masticating and putting those enzymes, digestive enzymes from your saliva, and you're putting it in there and you're chewing it up and chewing it up and chewing it up, you're actually, when you do swallow it, you're actually going to get the nutrients absorbed a lot better from the digestive enzymes. And then there's other enzymes that are in the raw vegetables that are not dead yet. So if you can eat raw okra, that's super healthy for you. But I don't recommend for anybody to eat raw okra because it tastes slimy and yeah, I couldn't eat it. I was just like, reminded me of some cold gruel on his griddle for a past month old or some bloody thing. I was like, no, this is gross. But I would eat something like cold gruel that's left over from a month. I would if I was hungry enough. I need bio slime. Yeah, fried. I tried that. I now that I know I'm a little older, I know about temperatures. I think I was cooking it at the wrong temperature. Yeah. Hey, Steph. Good to see you, Idaho Garden Girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Idaho Garden Girl from Joe Grow Big TV. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, if I heard it tastes a lot better if you fry it, and that would be for that would be for me. I would definitely have to have it fried. There was one other thing too that I can't eat, but I can't remember it because I can eat just about anything fresh, or and it's if it's not frozen and not in a can, I'm definitely interested in eating it because that's what humans are best. That's their best food. If it's picked right there and consumed right there right now, that's the best. I've never tasted okra. I've tried it because it bothered me to eat it so much, and other people just love it. But obviously they know how to prepare it. Like I forget who was saying that back some there. Must have been Sweet Thumb. Yep, Sweet Thumb said that they like okra. Yeah, chew 3 times. Chew 50 times there, Dustin. Wow. Oh, wake up. It's Friday. I'm going to a gem and rock show today with a good friend of mine. And going to make a video for a buddy over in England there, Jamie. He wants a video. That's what he's into, coins and gems and minerals and that kind of thing. Imagine most people are. But he's a really cool guy. He has this electric scooter, and he says, "Ride with me." And he drives the streets, and he has a little ET on the front. And every now and then, he'll do like just drive around and look at the place. But he'll also go to places and do metal detecting or magnetic fishing, and some of the things he's found. It's pretty cool. And then he's created a community around the world that sends them a coin or their stickers, and he has a really nice community of folks. I don't know if he's still in here. I don't think so, but I'm going to do a video for him. I will eat okra pickled or snack on it raw. Really? Raw is the best. Okra is full of silica. Yeah, it's really good to stock up on. Hi, Tammy. Hi. Okay, everybody's saying hello. Okay. And Sammy Joe's never tasted okra. Wow. It's different, you know. But there was one other one that I didn't like, and I can't remember what what it was. Yesterday I ate a part of a watermelon I didn't like. I didn't like it. Didn't taste like watermelon enough, and there was something wrong with the flesh. I didn't care for the texture, and I love watermelon, but I only like watermelon that's grown organically. I don't like watermelon grown with fertilizers and stuff like that. I won't even eat it. If it says organic on it, that's all mine. Sometimes field grown when it overspray, and I'm very finicky when it comes to eating anything water vegetable like something. I can't eat okra always. My family still laughs. Whoa, because I can eat. Okay, okay. Hey, I got it. I can eat okra always. My family still laughs because I was maybe 6 years old and asked for more of the sticky stuff I was eating, just a bowl of okra and cornbread. Well, geez, that would have been really healthy for you. Yep. But maybe I could eat it fried. Does an air fryer do a good job on okra? That's a good question. I have tried to prepare okra before, and because it's supposed to be so healthy for you, like I couldn't do it. I couldn't get past the texture. I'm like, no, it doesn't taste like potatoes or beef or I will not buy it from the store. I might try to get seeds for next year. Yeah, it grows really easy. It's really a fairly easy thing to grow. Now, I shouldn't say that. I've seen other people grow it. I don't grow it myself, but I've seen other people grow it and they were quite successful. Yeah. You can eat the okra. Hey, well, if you're used to it in your body, your body wants that, then there's a way for your body to crave that. And that's the big thing about cravings and actual hunger. There's a two different worlds of how to consume food. If you're hungry, then you want that okra because you're hungry. And then if you're craving it, like you're saying there, from your childhood, well, you got a double whammy. Almost worth growing just for the flowers. I heard that too. Yeah. 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 I heard that too. Yeah. Interesting. I had a conversation recently about growing okra and corn next year on a lot. And I said, well, there's got to be some changes to the lot. At first, you got a cardboard thing, and then you got to put your soil on it because there's no soil there for one. Well, a lot of rock, crushed rock. What are you going to grow in it? So I'm going to try to get involved with it, but it's going to require me giving up about 20% of my soil from the food forest here. So that's a lot. And I've done that twice now, and then the people never ever came back. They just were here to get the soil. They didn't. There was an expectation of coming and helping here. If you take the soil, please, pull the morning glory on these once a week a year or something else like that. One or two work bee projects, not a lot, right? For the amount of soil, and you got tens of thousands of dollars worth of soil. Nothing. And I said, no, I don't really want to get involved. It requires taking down my fence. And so I don't know. It's up in the air, but it would be nice they want to grow corn, okra, and something else. Strawberries, corn, okra, strawberries, a couple other things, but I absolutely forget. Too bad. True, the flowers are beautiful. They belong to the same family as cotton, hibiscus, and hollyhock family. Wow. I wonder if the okra leaves are edible. It's not a nightshade, is it? No. Hibiscus, cotton, and hollyhock are not nightshades, I don't think. I know they're very sweet. Hollyhock, well, that's under the mallow family. That's where marshmallow came from. Joe Grow Big TV, check out Earth Care Farms. Earth Care Farms. I've heard that name somewhere. Huh. Yeah, keeping up to what you're growing. A lot of people, they try to grow too much and they have failure. And then there's people that grow not enough and they have failure. And the big thing you got to remember, if you're going to grow a lot, you better have enough soil to grow it. And if you're just going to grow a little bit, you don't need very much soil to grow it. That's the difference. So the more soil you have, the better off you are for growing anything. And heat. If some plants love heat and some plants don't like heat, and some plants love sunlight, some plants don't like sunlight. That's the difference. And I like using rocks for radiant heat for like heat loving, like tomatoes are heat loving. They love the heat. They love it. They absolutely love heat, tomatoes. And it doesn't matter what kind of tomatoes, they all love heat. Yeah. I try to grow only like tomatoes that I know will grow here. Like all tomatoes will grow here, but I want them to look after themselves. I don't know if you understand that. I don't want to. I want to be ergonomic where it's easy for me to do to grow the food, that it will look after itself and I'll get a good harvest, like the garlic. And so, yeah. So I try to grow garlic, and that's that's the start. When you grow garlic with any soil, you're starting off, and it's just simple as putting the clove in the ground in a line, and put your potatoes on both sides. Put a rows of beets in there. Make it all a nice tight forest floor. Howie, they make compost and farming that do community plantings and harvesting of garlic. Yeah, it's absolutely imperative to put your layer of soil down at least once a year from the compost, or I take it from my from my pathway soil bank, and I put that all over the forest floor before anything starts growing in the spring. That's imperative. So, and then I'll put on that wood ash, biochar, and I'll put layers of kelp on that. I'll chop it all up from the ocean. And my layers of pathway soil bank is built from other layers of like leaves, compost, manures, kitchen waste, sawdust, that kind of thing. And so everything is in a layer that comes from a bunch of other layers to go on that layer. And that's what I look for, right? And I'm very successful at growing anything that I grow. Compared to like now, my food forest here has spread out to the north and to the south, and in the south part, it's picked up a lot. Okay, it's picked up a lot. Several properties now to my south grow food. And the reason they grow food is because they see some shelves empty this year, kind of spooked them into an interest in helping themselves. The King Poobah says, we planted the biggest garlic from the farmer's market last fall. Smart. I can't wait to see the harvest. Looks like it's going to be great. If you did that, you might have to wait till like September and to be careful on harvesting it. But you probably know, you're an experienced grower anyway. I find that when you grow something from someone else, you don't exactly know how long that's been growing, and August is the best time. And I can't wait to see the harvest. I bet it should be getting close to where you are. In England, I noticed Charles Dowding this morning. He was looking at his garlic. He's like, oh, I'm leaving all of it to go to this rusty color, and then I'll harvest it. Obviously, he knows something the rest of us don't. And he's very good at what he does for this no-till gardening. And I harvested mine most likely like 2 days before he started. And now he's leaving some for another 10 days. And I was just like, oh, okay. And he talked about intercropping, where he has this row of garlic, he has a row of beets planted. Now that the garlic's coming to an end, he put in, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, he put in beet seeds there. Well, I have that already growing with all different kinds of greens and kales, and it grows by itself. And I do quite well with it, like Chinese spice cabbage, not just beets, but he does a shallow till, I'm sure of it. He says he goes along and picks out dandelions and picks out this and that. And I was just like, well, I go along and I just dump like 2-3 inches of a layer of soil on top. And I never see that problem because they're just starting. They're just growing from the seed that blew in. You can't control the weather. And birds bring seed, and squirrels and rats poop. And there's a bunch of seeds there. You can't do that. But you did smart. You did smart if you went to the market and picked out the biggest ones. You should be getting the biggest ones. You should. Yeah. In my raised beds, I use large rocks along with my soil, that I make myself smart, Sammy Joe. Yeah. Well done, King Poobah. I'm curious to see the video. And Grow Big TV says, awesome, Dustin. Yep, they do that. Dustin and Corky, they do a lot, man. They pump it out and go to the market. I'm impressed. Mr. Thielen says, yes, Charles is very knowledgeable. Yeah, the guy's super knowledgeable. He was over in France. I didn't know he could speak French, right? And I knew he went and he grew food in France and sharecropped, but I didn't know he one day he starts talking in French, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he's telling me about what time to plant it, and like the days and months. And I'm like, I'm listening to him, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I couldn't understand some of the French he was saying because he has this clear, excellent English language, and he's talking French. He even has that twirl with the tongue, and he knows how to talk French. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. I think he's leaving the garlic in the greenhouse longer. Could be. I don't know. He obviously knows something we don't. And as far as it getting brown and stuff, that's just a sign of age to me. And I don't have that brown. Hey, that was the cool part. I just went, yeah, mine doesn't do that. I mean, it a little tinge here and there of it at the end when it's like super plumped up after I knocked off the scapes and they fattened up. But I'll tell you, I was just like, wow. But I mean, he's a pro. He's a no-till gardening pro. And I do no-till mostly, but sometimes I need to till up the soil for a simple fact. I want to have a look at it. I want to cut a window in it and have a look. I might want to move some mycelium and inoculate the ground somewhere else that doesn't have the mycelium. And there's many reasons. And then I'll do a shallow till with my Japanese hoe. I have a special hoe from Japan from this guy that passed away, and his wife gave away his tools. So I said, I'd take them. So the person in charge of that gave them to me. And I was just like, I was very happy to get them. And then they were dispersed. I should have taken all the tools and just paid off everybody here. And because the guy had all the different tools for a reason. And then two of the tools were like a kama for cutting rice and weeds, and they were stolen from here years ago. It was just grabbed, and I've been meaning to order two more to replace them. But once that special tool's gone, now I still have the sickle, the hand sickle, and I have the larger one for cutting a big field, but I don't have a whole lot of fields to cut here. And I like to cut things and do things by hand. I don't like to have something done with a machine or something like that, or someone else to even do it. I want to do it myself. I don't want any nose picking bum scratchers or anything like that, or someone that's going to cross contaminate my food, because that's what happens. The big thing about cross contaminated food here is a farmer upwind sprays manure that goes downwind. Okay, so how long does it take for that manure to cure, or we'll say like solarize or whatever you want to call it, to be neutral and like biochar neutralizes most toxins, but we're talking about a freshman, and you see it. They spray the pig manure and it's raw into the field, man. And then you see some guy over here growing lettuce. It's like, what the hell? You guys can't be that stupid. I mean, it's just, they're not. They don't care. And that's how you see a recall happen. That's 90% of why recalls happen, is because of bacteria that's not good for humans. Not quite right in the head. This season, we are battling poison ivy in the food forest, pain in the butt. Well, throw down some cardboard on it and throw some leaves on that and some compost on that and some coffee grounds on that and some bark mulch and deciduous wood chips. And I'm pretty sure that'll just die underneath there. Not darn sure of it. Or tarp it and kill it. Something. I don't like ivy at all. Whether it's poison ivy, English ivy, whatever. It's just nasty. It tears fences apart over years. It kills trees. I'm an advocate of getting rid. I just actually did a short and put it up about saving a second growth. Well, it's not old growth, but at least it's not third or fourth or fifth growth fir. So it's a second growth fir, which is a good sized tree. Garlic rust on Charles garlic outside. Yeah, well, it's coming in the rain. Actually, it's a fungus in the rain. Stinks because it is in the strawberries. Yeah, I'll be right back. I've got to let something happen here. I hope I get to make Gil's live stream tonight. I missed one before. I noticed he sent me a link. So E. coli. Oh yeah, that's stinks because it's in the strawberries. Yup, totally. Manures, you have to have aged manure. Okay, and lime neutralizes everything. Hey, that's why you whitewash the barn, you whitewash the picket fence, you whitewash everything because it kills most everything. I think everything. So have to twist the smoked salmon. I'll be doing some cool things at the Gem and Rock show today. One is I got to do a video for my buddy over in England. He's a really nice guy. He comes in here once in a while. But you watch that manures, man. That's but usually in hot sun, 3 weeks, everything dies. Right? Yeah. 3 weeks. But if you don't have that and you're eating it, you're compromised immunity or you're just not used to those microbes, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in some serious, deep trouble, especially if you're young or old. A salad might have tasted great, but hey, I watch no-till growers as well since we are on the topic. Yeah, no-till. That's what happens in nature. It's just another layer comes down. Another layer, another layer. Yeah. It's all in layers. Once you get the concept that it's just another layer of nutrients, and then there's mineralizers. That's the best ones for a layer, like comfrey. You put that comfrey on the ground in layers around the apple trees or whatever tree you got. You're taking the minerals deep from the ground and bringing them up top. It's like fig tree leaves. That's the same thing. They're mineralizers. Then there's nitrogen fixers. There's and leaves are microbe homes. Okay, so making a layer of leaves, and every year in your neighborhood, I know for a fact there's a ton of leaves that fall on the ground. It's called fall, and they fall down, and you pick them up, and you spread them onto your garden or your compost or your pathway soil bank or your forest floor. And I do it every year. I never miss. I go and I spend a couple of hours here and there and I drag it home. And that's how I built the main part of the lawn to food growing. This year, I went into one of the people in my village offered up lawn. I salivated at them because I know that they're fairly stable grower, but they just don't understand about growing large quantity. So now that person's gone, and I'm like, what? I notice there's no lights on, and I notice there's workmen coming and going from there, but established workmen that are accepted in the village here. So I just observed it. Okay, I didn't say anything, but I'm going to go there and water because I noticed the cat's outside and all the lights are off, and I just find, well, what the hell is that? Why are there workmen there? Because I know them. I know this person for like 30 years. So I'm going to go and check it out. You don't know, maybe she's not well. Yep, all the leaves go in the food forest. Yeah, cardboard that English that poison ivy. Cardboard that and let it rot. Put it or put a tarp on it and kill it with heat, especially the heat right now, right? You get a nice tarp on there, cook that. And there's a lot of invasive plants that are hard on the native system, and then there's a lot of invasive plants that are hard on what you're trying to cultivate. And even in the food forest, I've had battles with like bindweed. I've got it down to now. I just put I attack bindweed with workers, volunteers, and chickens. I'll even use the chickens and I'll put them in an area and let them voraciously eat all that bindweed. If there's nothing there, they'll eat the bindweed and dig it out too. They're quite the little diggers. Yeah, they're great for eating all the bugs. And for years, I used to put down boards and lift it up. And when I first did it, the chickens would go in and eat. They would eat the worms that are underneath the boards and the pill bugs and stuff like that, landiopods and stuff like that. And they would clean it up. To this day, I don't have a problem with bugs coming here and eating my food, because there's several defenses. There's biochar, and then there's wood ash, and then there's chickens and birds. Birds all come here. I put up birdhouses. A lot of people have the ideology, oh yeah, get rid of them birds, they're going to eat my berries. No, you want the birds here. Sure, they're going to eat some berries, but you know what? Robins only eat berries that fall on the ground, and they pick them off the ground because you didn't pick them first. There's a reason for everything that happens, and the biggest thing is having a thought pattern that just doesn't compute, let's say. Because not all birds touch the food. Like starlings will, they'll come in and raid you. So, you put up a netting, some die. But why not just put some bird where birds can go in a part of the food forest where they can go and be comfortable there, and put the birdhouse there or two, or an owl house. And you'll see the balance happening. And when you're planting your food, you do intercropping, but then you also plant polyculture where you put whatever you want there. And there's different. It's not a mono thing, right? And monoculture brings in problems. And if you're trying to grow, like you're clearing the land and just growing rows of lettuce and rows of spinach, that's all fine and dandy. But it's much better to put cardboard on that ground, and then put nice soil on top of that, like compost and leaves and wood chips and coffee grounds and kitchen waste. Try to put the kitchen waste on first, and then you're putting the rest on, so you don't want to attract any critters. If you do attract critters, you've put up your owl house already, and a couple of owls, they got to feed the young, so they need 1,000 mice per year. Did you get that number? 1,000 mice per year. So it's all in how you govern accordingly, and it's a lifestyle that's not actually work. It's actually, I'm not at the office. I'm not in the city. I am in the city, but hey, I'm inside of a food forest. Hey, what's going on here? Retrofitting the city is the best things that humans can do. Retrofitting the city, because it can look after itself. presently with city planners and architects and builders, it's just as build as much and grab as much cash as you can get. There's absolutely no forethought in anything else. There's just none. There's no thinking about the animals that live there, the ruminants that should be there. There's no thought about, other than a lawn and a cookie cutter house, there's nothing else that's done. Nothing. Mm-mm. And everybody's got a strata title, and you live in a HOA, and not everybody, but there's a lot here now. And it's absolutely sanitized soil. There's nothing alive underneath all that pavement. It's actually a disgusting, disgraceful mess. I mean, there's a reason why worms go over pavement. They don't go underneath it, hey? And because it's too toxic. There's thousands of chemicals in that pavement that are cancer causing. Thousands. You get an oil spill in the ocean, billions is spent on cleaning that up. And if not a type of something to go on it to dissolve it, or some chemical or microbe to dissolve the oil. That bullshit. Now, what are we doing on land? We know what happens on the ocean. It's a toxic mess. Why are we putting it all over our ground? Why? Because someone over there goes, oh, I own this paving company and I make billions of dollars and the government gives me millions of dollars for subsidies and blah, blah, blah. Nobody has a freaking idea about this shit's toxic. This is toxic as hell. It's really bad. Nobody shows up to clean it up. As a matter of fact, it's encouraged. Oh, it's a better road for society. No. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? I'm not stupid. Some governments think you're stupid, eh? Because you're too busy to be smart. You're too busy to pay the mortgage. You're too busy to bring the kids to the soccer game, drop them off at school, doing all this free work. You should be doing that anyway, teaching your kid, and you should be schooling your kid, and you should be doing time with your kid, not on a tablet or a phone. There's so many abilities that are being lost, like people that can't even write anymore. And there's a large portion that can't write. Yeah. They can read, you can understand, but they can't write. They haven't practiced it. They read it on a tablet. This is something you're losing, right? Yep, bird feeder in the garden and an entire colony of sparrows and wrens right next to the garden. They only eat overripe tomatoes, but got to cover the strawberries. Well, yeah, I imagine so. Hawks and kestrels do a number on sparrows. Oh, yeah. Take care, everyone. See you, Joe. I'm out of here too. Blessings to all. And if you don't know Joe at Grow Big TV, you should sign up, say hello, and I think I'm out. I'm out as well. We've covered a bunch of cool topics, and oh yeah, if anybody knows Gil's channel, put it up there for tonight at 5. I think it's at 5, and it should be very interesting live stream tonight. So see you, King Poobah. Take care. Anybody with a wrench that could throw up the Gil's channel, Cam Patton Family Compound, maybe. He's got another one too, but I'm going to stay on here until someone does. No, I'm just kidding. Take care. But please, if you can do that, that'd be great. Sammy Joe, you have a nice day. Thank you kindly for being here. Bye. Got to go as well. See you, Steph. If you know Gil's channel's name, please put it up if you can do that. I would very much appreciate it, because it should be a good topic. Okay, nobody's going to do it. Come on, there must be someone out there that likes the guy. No, I'm just kidding. See you, Steph. Okay, there it is. Cam Patton Family Con. Thanks, King Poobah. You're the best. Yeah, all governments think that people are stupid. Yeah, they think, some people think they're the only person, Tammy, in the universe. Yeah, And that's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Education is key to survival. Take care, folks. Bye, all, Mr. Thielen. You take care, Tammy. Sweet Thumb, see ya. Good listen while harvesting spearmint. Ooh, I got to get out and do some of that myself. I had to chuck a bunch because there was spider eggs on it. I'm not a spider egg fan. End live stream. There we go. See you there, Mr. Thielen. End stream. Oh, and there's the Camp Hatton family compound up there. King Poobah put it out. So it's back some for people that are using their phone. Just go back a bit and then try to show up, and the conversation and topic will be they're coming for your food. Now, what's that mean? Deer, birds, governments, rogues, feral people, who? Right? This should be interesting. I got to make it. Take care, folks.